So I did a video for, let me take this off. This is supposed to help me as far as like helping to guard my throat chakra and stuff, but I can actually feel the energy as I'm trying to talk to y'all. So I did a video about taking spiritual baths and those type of things previously. And then I was talking to a client of mine's, and we were talking about just basically cleansing yourself, spiritual baths and stuff. So I want to talk about those more. So I'm just gonna give y'all some. So I already made videos and stuff about spiritual baths and things. But let me tell you some simple baths that are good for things. Again, all right. So if you're thinking about what type of bath, or you're trying to figure out what type of bath you want to take, and say you just want a general maintenance bath. All right, Epsom salt, sea salt, baking soda. That's your bath. All right. That's one bath. That's a general maintenance bath. All right. Say if you're stressed out and you're just thinking about money, or you're thinking about life, or you're thinking about relationships, a good bath to take spiritually would be sage and basil. All right. Fresh sage. All right. Get you some fresh sage into your bath. Well, actually, if you know, before you take a spiritual bath, you always got to clean yourself off physically. So you need to take a shower first, clean off your physical body. Then you pour your bath water. Then if you have fresh sage or fresh basil or any type of fresh herb, what you do is you then rub it between your hand while you put it in the bath water. You just rub it, you rub it, you rub it. And then you just kind of like, you pray, you talk to God, and you state your intention for taking the bath. All right. So your intention would be, so let's say you're doing a basil and sage. God, I need some wisdom for the situation that I'm going through right now. I need some wisdom for the situation that I'm going through right now. And that's technically how you would clean yourself off. I need some wisdom, or before you even get in the bath water, you just pray. A lot of times when I'm doing things, I would do a Psalms. So I love the Power of Psalms book. I don't have it on hand. I think it's at my house. But that is a book that I love, that I use for spiritual baths or any type of thing like that. That's like my tool. I love the Psalms. If you are a spiritual worker, spiritual practitioner, I recommend getting the Power of Psalms and just getting the Bible and just studying the Psalms. Like the Psalms are like, to me, words of power, prayers of power, scripture of power, whatever you want to call it. All right. A good bath for that, a good Psalms for that bath would be Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Or Psalms 43 or Psalms 92. All right. And again, that bath is just for wisdom, for rejuvenation, for clarity. Basil, a lot of times, I'll tell people, normally I say, oh, it's a cleansing. All right. But I guess the thing when it comes to herbs is, we all know what herbs do for medicinal purposes. They all have their things that they do when it comes to our body and the chemistry. I also know them to be just as powerful spiritually. They all have a purpose. Basil, a lot of time, for me, it's a money herb. So it's most of the time people have issues when it comes to money or things like that. I say take a bath with fresh basil, 4 baths, 1 bath a day. Now, when you put sage in it and you mix those two together and you have that good spiritual concoction together, it basically just represents rejuvenation, clarity about life in general. Sage is a wisdom herb. So I know a lot of us use sage and we go and we cleanse and we do stuff, and that's good because you're bringing in you're removing negative energy and you're bringing in good energy. Also, total sidebar, I just thought of this. When you're saging, make sure you have your windows closed. You want to smoke out your house. But then after you sage and you're done, you want to open up the windows to let the smoke out, or open up your front door and tell that negative energy, you got to go, okay? And you can invite the good energy in. Because I'm realizing a lot of people don't know that or understand that or realize it. So anyway, I wanted to throw that in. Another good bath, Epazote. Epazote. That is a good bath. That's for gossip. That's for people talking about you. If you just feel like a lot of people have their names in your mouth, get you some Epazote. You go to the Spanish market if it's in season, and they won't call it Epazote. They'll call it Epazote or whatever. But Epazote is a awesome bath. Okay. And normally you can just take that one time, 1 or 3 times. So it just depends on how you feel. You know, when it comes to baths, you always want to have somebody to divine or to kind of instruct you. But these are just general baths that will not cause any type of issues. You know, it'll help you. Now, also look at baths like medicine. If you don't need that medicine, it's not going to work for you, and it can have the reversed effect. So this is something that you can use. You know, I'm giving you general basic baths that you can use to just kind of cleanse yourself that won't hurt you, but I want to throw that in as well. All right, another bath, prosperity. This is a good bath. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Anyway, I'll tell you. So this bath is yellow flowers, honey, and cinnamon. All right. So with this bath, you normally want to start it on a Friday. All right. You want to do it for 5 days. This is a 5-day bath that you have to do it for 5 days. Okay, people, don't overdo this bath, all right? Do not overdo this bath. This bath is a prosperity bath. It's an attraction bath. So I always tell my clients, before you take this bath, what I want you to do is write out your goals. Sit down with yourself and write your goals out. And when you're taking a bath, put on some music that inspires you, that you can just think about your goals, or you can really think about your breakthrough financially, money-wise. But also know, and I'm saying financial and money, but really it's a prosperity bath. Spirit is telling me that. Now, it's a prosperity bath, all right? So prosperity can show up in lots of different ways. It can be somebody calling you and taking you out to eat. It can show up a lot of different ways. Also, another point. Before you put the honey in the bath water, taste it first. Taste it. All praises be to God. Thank you, God. And also, when you're in the bath, just begin to really thank God for just all the blessings that are coming, that are working, that are just overflowing in your life. Really thank God for your blessings. All right. A good protection bath, or a bath to kind of like clean up negativity, negative energy. You actually can do sea salt, baking soda, half a can of beer, any type of beer, but half a can of beer. For women, be very careful about sitting in it for a long period of time. Another point, when it comes to spiritual baths, you don't have to be in the bath for hours. 5 to 10 minutes, okay? If that. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm in, I'm out, cleanse myself. So whenever you cleaning something up off of you, you always want to wipe down, okay? Always want to wipe down. Whenever you're bringing stuff up, you kind of want to wipe up, but it's just kind of a different way you got to do it. Normally, I just wipe down, depending on what I'm doing. I'm trying to think, what's another bath? Another bath you can do for protection to cleanse yourself off as well is coffee. You can actually boil some coffee, get some coffee. Sometimes people like to put coffee and put a little bit of tobacco in there in the while you're boiling it, and that's a strong protection bath. But that also can be a bath and offering to your ancestors as well. So I might have to get more into that in another video. But yeah, FYI. Let me see. It's actually so many different types of baths. A good evolution bath, like to elevate your spirits, to elevate your energies, just to elevate, is white flowers, like carnations, eggshell powder. You probably have to look that up online and find it if you don't know where to get that from. All it is crushed up eggshells that are grinded together. You can put a little bit of holy water in there and Florida water. Okay, and that's for elevation, evolution, and that's something that you would do for. Normally, that bath you would do it for 7 days consistently, consecutively, 1 bath a day. Okay. Let's see, what's another bath? What's another bath? Oh, another good bath for your spirits. And this is not for everybody, so just know this, but it's for your spirits, but it's more so a strength bath, a power bath. I always think about the root chakra with this bath. And you can do red roses. Now, that's just the basics of it. There's more to it, but I'll only tell you that if you absolutely need it. But I'll say red roses is actually a really good bath to strengthen you, to strengthen your spirits, but also think about it as balancing out your root chakra. Okay. Let me see what else. I think those are some good ones, some good general baths. I will tell you more baths, or I'll give you more baths later, but I think those are good for right now. So keep your, put your comments and stuff below. So again, I really trust in spiritual baths. I love spiritual baths. I know that they have saved my life. And I guess just a good example, I remember a couple of years ago, I've known about spiritual baths for a very long time, but I honestly didn't always do them the way I was supposed to. But I had an event, and I remember I had to read like a lot of people in this event. And I remember leaving that event and I was so tired and I couldn't figure out why are, you so tired. And I felt like I was coming out with a cold or a flu. And I remember driving home, one of my friends called me and she said, "You need to take a spiritual bath." And I was thinking to myself, I don't feel like taking no spiritual bath. But anyway, went home, tried to go to sleep, couldn't go to sleep. So I was like, you know what? I might as well take the bath since I can't go to sleep. When I tell you, when I took that bath, afterwards, I felt brand new. Like I didn't feel sick no more. I actually had energy. I was ready to like just do stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, no, you need to rest. But I was ready to go out and just have a good time. So after that day, I became a believer in spiritual baths for real, for real, for real. So now if you work with me, I'm always like, okay, you need to take this spiritual bath. You need to do this. You need to do that. So I'm gonna be talking more about that because it's so key and it's so good. So I will be working on some more tutorials, and I'm going to be working on some more things for the inner circle. But for my private membership, private group, or whatever. But yeah, so those are just some things. Hopefully you can use them. I know they'll be good for you. Always research, research, research. So research the herbs and the metaphysical properties of the herbs that I just stated and I just told you. Always research things. Don't just take it because a person tells you. Anybody can be on YouTube. Anybody can be on video. Anybody can press enter and tell you stuff. Always research. But these are some things for me that have worked for me. All right. Blessings. Talk to you soon.